This video is all about intentionality. We've discussed problems and pitfalls. Now let's talk about the positive vision. What does it mean to use AI intentionally at work? The core idea? Intentional use is about slowing down where it counts, defining boundaries, and explicitly designing authority. It's not just about being good at prompts or squeezing out a few more tasks per hour. Those may be elements, but intentional use goes much deeper into the why and how we integrate AI into our workflows. Think of intentional AI use as analogous to mindful leadership. A mindful leader doesn't react impulsively. They pause, consider values and goals, then act. Similarly, an intentional AI user or organization doesn't just throw AI at everything and hope for the best. They pause and plan. Where should AI be applied? Where should it not? What checks do we need? How do we align it with our purpose? One way to understand intentional use is to contrast it with incidental or haphazard use. Incidental use is grabbing the latest AI tool because everyone is, automating something because it's easy, and letting AI run because it can. Intentional use means, for example, choosing to slow a particular process down on purpose to insert human judgment. It sounds countercultural to slow down in our speed obsessed work culture, but sometimes slowing down is exactly what prevents disaster or adds quality. As one technology writer put it, AI removes much of the friction. A model can approve thousands of things in seconds. These pauses we used to have, they were informal controls. Without them, you lose something important. Intentional use might reintroduce a bit of that friction in a thoughtful way to ensure we're not speeding off a cliff. So slowing down is one pillar. What does that look like? It could be as simple as saying, if we use AI to generate a report, we will always take an extra hour for human expert to review it line by line, no matter how tempting it is to just ship it. That's intentional. It could mean if an AI-driven decision flags an anomaly, we convene a quick human team to discuss context before taking action, even if AI could auto-action it faster. It's the philosophy that faster is not always better when consequences or values are at stake. Slow down to speed up in the right direction, you might say. Next, defining boundaries. This is a crucial piece. Intentional use means you've drawn the map. Here are the domains and tasks we will leverage AI. Here's where we won't, and where we heavily gate its use. For example, you might decide AI can draft internal memos and code, but it will not be used to draft sensitive HR communications or make hiring decisions, because those require human touch or carry too much of risk of bias. Or on a personal level, I'll use AI to brainstorm ideas, but I won't use it to write my performance reviews for my team members, because that's a responsibility I want to carry myself to make it genuine. These boundaries are intentional choices aligning with your values and strategic goals. They prevent the creep we discuss, where AI quietly starts doing more and more. Instead, you set the scope consciously. An insightful quote I came across from a tech lead is, the real advantage today isn't knowing how to use AI. It's knowing when to stop using it. Judgment, ethics, taste, timing. These are human advantages that become more valuable as automation increases. The future belongs to those who know exactly what not to delegate. That nails it. Knowing what to hand over to AI is as important as knowing how to leverage it. That's boundary setting in a nutshell. So maybe you ask yourself or your team, what are our red lines with AI? Define them. It could be around data privacy. We will not feed confidential client data into a third-party AI service without clearance. Or around critical decisions. Any AI recommendation on strategy must be vetted by the strategy committee. Intentional use is proactive, not reactive, about these limits. Finally, designing authority, which we covered in detail in the last video, is a key component of intentional use. It means from the start, you design the process such that humans are right in the loop, at the right time, armed with the right information. It's not ad hoc oversight, it's planned. For example, you might formalize for every new AI tool we deploy, we will have a designated owner or steward who understands it and monitors it. That person will report monthly on performance and any issues. That's authority by design. Or we will intentionally have a review meeting once a quarter where we examine decisions made by AI and see if we're comfortable with how they were made. It's basically implementing governance principles in a structured way rather than leaving it to chance. Another aspect of intentional use is aligning AI use with a clear purpose or mission. Instead of using AI because it's trendy or because someone upstairs said to, tie it to your mission. For instance, if your mission is to deliver exceptional customer service, you intentionally use AI in ways that enhance responsiveness or personalized service, but not in ways that detract from empathy or trust. That might mean using AI to draft quick responses to common queries to speed up service, but intentionally not using a bot to handle complex complaints where a human touch is needed. And you might explicitly tell your team, we use AI here and here to serve customers faster, but we don't use it here because we never want to compromise on compassion in those moments. That clarity is empowering and prevents misuse. Also, intentional means informed. It implies that users are educated on AI strengths and weaknesses. If you hand an AI tool to a team without context, their use will not be intentional. It will be trial and error. But if you train them, here's what this AI is good at. Here's where it tends to err. Here's how to double check it. Then they can use it intentionally. They know when to lean on it and when to be cautious. That ties to prompt literacy too. Yes, being literate in prompting is part of it, but not just to get output quickly. Rather, to get the right kind of output and to know when to stop. For example, an intentionally AI literate person might use a tool to generate 5 ideas. Then they'll stop, evaluate those ideas critically, using human judgment to select or refine the best one. An unintentional user might just take the first AI idea and run with it. The difference is subtle in action but huge in outcome. A good practice for intentional use is documenting your AI workflows. Write it down. We use AI for XYZ. After AI does X, person A reviews it for this criteria. Or we do not use AI for YZ because of these concerns. This kind of documentation seems tedious, but it forces intentional thought. It's like writing a little AI playbook for your team. It can evolve, but at least you've made conscious decisions that others can follow. It also helps onboard new people into just how to use AI, and why it's set up the way it is. One more anecdote. I recall a manager saying after implementing AI, at first we were enamored by how much faster we could go, but then we realized we were chasing metrics that didn't matter, and the AI was kind of leading us. We took a step back and redefined what we wanted to achieve, even if that meant using AI less in some areas. That's when we started actually seeing true benefits. This is the classic productivity versus purpose issue. Efficiency is great, but as mentioned in a previous video, speed is not direction. Intentional use is about ensuring the use of AI has direction. That might mean less raw output, but more meaningful output. And it definitely means feeling in control. As we wrap up, I want to emphasize that intentional use isn't a one-time thing. It's a mindset and continuous practice. It aligns with the broader effort we've been enforcing, restoring and maintaining human authority in AI-assisted work. When you use AI intentionally, you remain the author of your workflows and decisions. AI becomes a powerful amplifier and assistant, not a replacement for judgment or a runaway train. It means being able to articulate, We use AI in these ways for these reasons. We've decided not to use it in those ways for those reasons. And we regularly reflect and adjust these choices. If you can say that about AI in your team or company, you are way ahead of most. And you're on the path to sustainable, responsible, and truly effective AI integration. In closing, let's boil it down to a reusable insight, something you can tell your colleagues or remember easily. Intentional AI means we drive the use of AI, not the other way around. It means designing how we use it with as much care as we design the AI itself. It's slowing down when a decision needs thought, setting boundaries where human judgment must prevail, and making sure AI serves our goals and values by design. Human authority, responsibility, and judgment are not old-fashioned ideals to be discarded in the AI era. They are the compass that will guide successful AI use. We can embrace these tools and achieve great things, but only if we stay intentional, stay aware, and never relinquish our role as stewards of technology in our professions. Thank you for being part of this series and this broader effort to restore and reinforce human authority in AI-assisted work. The fact that you've tuned in to these topics shows you care about doing this the right way, and that, more than anything, will ensure that AI becomes a tool for good in your hands. Let's move forward thoughtfully and intentionally. Subscribe if you lead with responsibility, and if your team needs help restoring clarity, that's what we do. See you in the next one.